Okay, hi Libras, and welcome to your September 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky coming on to talk to you about the energies coming in for your month. I am just searching for your image file. Okay, Libras, let's see what is coming up for you this month. I'm gonna, as usual, do some intuitive messages, and then I'll get into a week-to-week forecast followed by an extended reading on Patreon, which will be linked below. So I'm really fascinated by the energy coming in for you this month, Libras. It's really quite exquisite, actually. Pleasant surprises, not just for you, but for a lot of people. New creativity, new teamwork, new situations with different groups of people in your life, as well as perhaps a new beginning when it comes to income or finance or material well-being seems to be very much within the scope of your experience this month. So, one of the reasons that I'm really excited for you as we are getting into your season by the end of the month, be sure to hit the subscribe button below as I'll be making the October comprehensive astrology video themed around Libra season. But we're not quite there yet. We are still in Virgo season, which for Libra is kind of a crazy, wild time usually. For me, September is one of the most spiritual months of the year. For me as a Scorpio, a lot of really life-changing experiences have happened to me in the month of September. So if you're a Libra with a lot of Scorpio in your chart, you might be able to relate to that. And I don't think that that's changing this year. I think that you are still in for a very wild ride or a very new experience for sure. So one of the most interesting things I'm seeing about your sign is it's like your limits that you previously imposed upon yourself are just already surpassed. Okay. So you might have thought before, I can't afford to do this. I can't, work in this industry without being in this location, or I can't, do what it takes to follow my dreams. I have to be most frugal at all times and really give myself a hard time in order to get ahead in life. And that gets debunked this month. So I've already seen that coming in my own experience where it's like, gosh, you thought you had to walk uphill in the snow to get where you want to be. But as it comes down to it, you see, like, as you're walking through the snow, it's like, wow, I could totally have like a sled or something, or something could really be much easier about this. And then it seems like you do that immediately, and all of a sudden your life really changes and you start to really see the difference. That's the thing about this month of September, is it really shows us the difference that has happened in our lives. Okay, so for a lot of you, it looks like you might have gotten to a new level of financial material security, and now you're really seeing the difference. That might not be for some of you. For some of you, it might be more like you're finally in love with someone stable, or you're finally in a relationship that's not a relationship that's not meant to be, like in a relationship that's actually meant to be. And that could be like really showing you a difference, like what that means and what that is. Also, there's a potential this month of actually getting what you want, or actually seeing that your plans went through, and then seeing what that really means. So we have sort of a result continuum, I'll call it, this month, where a lot of results come through, and a lot of bills, a lot of results, a lot of very physical, real. It's very interesting. This Virgo season is what's doing it. The results of a poor diet, the results of investing, the results of, completing and getting through a program of study, the results of being a consistent person on social media, for better or worse, the results come here in September. And for most of you, it's a win-win situation to a degree, because it's like the worst case scenario is just that you might see that you're overworking, or that you might be indecisive to a fault. And that in and of itself seems to be a win for you to discover. So this month is a win-win for you, honestly. So try to not get worried or discouraged. And I'm thinking that one of the more important things for Libra this month is to not feel encumbered by your sense of limitation. You've got the Hanged Man and the Fool coming up as your only major arcana cards. So there's a really kind of quick move from a stagnant experience into a very quick, mobilized, moving experience. And try to not worry about cost as much, because it does feel like you might be preventing yourself from changes to like save or something like that. And it feels like you can do both. It feels like you can, in a very expert way, like negotiate within your life, or receive assistance, or can really come through. And it seems important this month to have a bit of a transformation there with like, because of my income, because of my, philosophies, like I have to live in a certain place, or I have to, and those are true things, but it feels like you might be very close to deprivation mode, and you want to make sure that you don't put yourself there, because then it's kind of, in a way, like accepting that, and that can kind of make that more permanent than it needs to be. So what you want to accept this month, what you want to have continuing momentum with, is an important thing to think about. And also, can you select a part of your life to really have quite the transformation or quite the change? I think that would be good for you. But as we get closer to your season, the end of the month is going to give you a new dose of energy, and I would really recommend not overworking. Okay, you've got 10 of Wands coming up, and it is standing out to me. So you want to be careful about overbooking yourself, overwhelming yourself. This entire year for you is about getting your life better. Okay, this entire year for a Libra is about, putting in some groundwork, putting in some foundational measures, putting in some grinding to really create a better foundation in life. And I think 10 of Wands, to a degree, it was one of the cards that I got for the year ahead of 2021. It's one of the cards I've always psychically seen as well in regards to the year of 2021. And it's kind of almost like karmic, I think, for almost every single person here right now. It's like, okay, we got kind of like carried away with something in 2019. And then 2020 happened, and now we gotta kind of like really think about the ongoing momentum and really take our power back here and now. So that, I think, is also what you're doing. Like, make sure that your hard work really matters in the future. Okay, so try, for instance, to not make a task harder than it has to be. Okay, it feels that the quality of the task itself is really tested here. So is it taking you 30 minutes to get that trash out? Is it taking you, an hour just to get your mind in the place to do something that's actually not that hard? I think you got to really step up to the plate and stop depriving yourself of ease by making simple things harder than they have to be. Okay, that's a big thing for everyone right now. We kind of just got to push through it and let it be easier for us. Okay, letting these things that we perceive now to be difficult easier. We really have that type of control right now. However, you don't want to overdo it either. So know where that limit is, and then within limitation, make it easy for yourself. So let's talk about your week to week. In the first week of September, Libras, you've got the Ace of Wands rooted down by the Hanged Man. So new creative ideas just dying to come in. It's like, oh my gosh, we're so ready to see this creative expansion. We're so ready to see you moving into a new direction, but you're still kind of taking it slow. The Hanged Man is rooting down the Ace of Wands. So you might be getting a creative reward from stagnation, and that might be continuing the stagnation. So I think that you need to think about that. Like, am I using this difficult, stagnant experience as a creative source? As a muse? Take a look at your muses. Take a look at where you are deriving creativity from in the first week of September. And don't be afraid to move on. Okay, week number 2, I love this. I love this so much. King of Pentacles rooted down by the Fool. Beautiful, beautiful energy. Solar plexus expansion. Okay, so the yellow in the tarot is the color of solar plexus to me, and it means that those cards that have a lot of yellow in the background say that we are really thinking about what we want and what we are pulled by, and maybe being a little bit less logical. So for a lot of you, that looks like a new investment of time, money, or energy in the second week. For some of you, it's just now getting to a level of prosperity where you feel you are ahead of the game. For others, it is a person in your life that you're just getting to know who is really solid, secure, and stable. And for all Libras, it's saying that you maybe need to look at new sources of income, or you need to look at new jobs or new businesses, new investments, new careers. Even if it's not about saying that what you have now is not good enough. Okay, it's not from that place, but it is about thinking like, okay, can we shake things up a little bit? Can we maybe start to make money from something we really enjoy? There's something very interpretive about your energy right now. So maybe interpreting, or some type of what do I want to say? Like, that's not necessarily like language, but that could be, astrology is kind of like a form of interpreting. It could also be accounting, as that's just kind of a form of the money or the language of money, So any more things are lingual in our lives than we know. But I see you as a kind of like linguist, like, and someone who gets material security through that. And a lot of people don't know, but Libra is like one of the signs of interpretation. Because again, the scales are what they used to be, and we don't think about this much. Was they gave information. Scales, how heavy is something, how much heavier is something than another. The scale as a mechanism, as an object, was an interpreter of weight, right? So it feels that Libra really does have to hone in on their interpretive capability this month. And the third week is just exactly that as well. Some of you might be getting jobs as interpreters. Some of you might be getting jobs as some type of information researchers as well. Research could be coming up. Research projects in the third week. For some of you, teamwork, goals, creative projects. Something about this entire month, week 1, 2, 3, and even 4, are all about group work, group dynamics. And some of you, I guess, might be back in school. Some of you might also be, just pursuing creative teamwork. Okay, so there is a little bit of emphasis on others, right? So on one hand, it could go both ways. Like maybe some of you are freelancing and some of you are really in like a, corporate environment. But the Fool, 3 of Pentacles, you're having a nice kind of move in and move out of group dynamics. So you're really working on yourself and then you're really working with other people. And it's really kind of going back and forth. But in the 4th week, yes, there's that 10 of Wands and 9 of Cups. So I would definitely recommend, and I've been seeing this for many of the signs this month, 3rd and 4th week of September, something happens strange with the energy. Something gets a little bit pressurized. So you want to really prepare for that time, okay? So try to not procrastinate in the first 2 weeks of September. This is really important for everyone, so that the last bit is not too crazy. Because it seems like something's coming up for people. It seems like there's maybe an unexpected event, or maybe something that leads us to have to be very good with our time management. So 2 tens in the 4th week, meaning an ending, meaning that you are about to have a new beginning in some type of way. Also, that can look like hard work for relationships. Those 2 cards together, like working really hard to make a marriage work, working really hard to make some type of union work. And it's going to be about working less, okay? It's going to be about putting less labor into these things that should be a little bit more natural. So do try to pursue natural momentum instead of forcing things or even manipulating things to be a certain way, even if it's for the sake of happiness or for the sake of trust. That really does need to happen naturally, okay? I'm just getting a drink of water. Okay, what else do we want to talk about for Libra for September? I would really also pay close attention, and this is going to be especially for you during your season, but to a degree it's there for everyone. Look at polarity, okay? I'm seeing a little bit of like, wow, I feel really great. I'm so happy with what I have. And then I'm seeing oh my God, what have I signed up for? Happening and coexisting at the same time. And this could be mirrored at a lot of places. Like, I'm thinking that this is a collective thing. Like, we're going to be seeing a lot of extremes on one side and the other. So it takes a sort of psychological preparation. It takes a good home base for a lot of people. It takes a good center point. And that can be very well developed, especially in that 2nd week of September. Take advantage of the 2nd week of September to really keep things up to date, to keep things moving well. Pay attention to blockages as well, okay? So that can manifest in a lot of ways, like clogged drains, not feeling like you can leave a certain place, like feeling like moving is really impossible, like feeling really trapped or barred in. Like, pay attention to that. I do feel that by the end of the year, we're going to look back on this period of time, especially September, but even like November and December of 2021, as times where we had to clear a blockage, okay, of some kind in our lives. So that can get pretty crazy if, because it's never fun, to like unclog a drain or something. Like, that's not a pleasant experience. So I'm not seeing a lot of unpleasant things for you, Libra, but I just think it's a good dialogue to have right now. And I think it's easy right now regardless, but November and December come along, and if things are kind of like avoided here, or all control is lost, or there's like a dereliction of duty or something, you could see that November and December could be pretty tough. So however, with good time management, good responsible task accomplishment, November and December for you will be a huge goal achieved. So it's kind of extreme. It's very difficult to come out in November and December with just like a sort of like, got by, like by the seat of my pants, kind of survived and made it through. It's not how things are going to be at that point in time. Either we have like really stepped up to the plate and accomplished something huge, or there can also be a derailing. So it's going to go one way or the other for most people. So that's good to know here and now, here in September, and to prepare for that. But anyway, Libras, that's not to create fear, that's to create preparation. So think about these preparations. Think about also who your support network is. Okay, that's something I need to talk about for just a second here. 3 of Pentacles coming up, 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands. And the Fool is here, so it's like you have this desire to like just be totally independent, totally off on your own. But I will say, Libras, you got to maybe keep the family close, or you've got to have a lot of friends or a lot of alliances in your life right now. I'm getting chills. This is the most important thing I've said in the reading. And it's okay if you don't have that now. Like, there's a lot of people who are totally like independent right now. It's part of the early Aquarian energy that we have still. But that is maturing, and as that matures, it starts to really develop a lot of connections. So there should start to be a bit of connection development in this time, healthy connection development. I'm not talking like politics here. I'm not talking about like gaming connections. I'm talking about true, real connections that through being forged now can really make us a lot stronger and just happier, okay? So keep that in mind too, especially in second and third week of September, because you seem very popular, very well esteemed in that time. So it could be a pivotal time to make new friends, to forge new connections, to network, okay, in a safe way. Anyway, Libras, let's talk more about preparation for the oncoming time, and I want to talk more about themes when it comes to developing a better inner circle, or developing a better group of friends or something, because that seems like a blockage that might need clearing. So we'll talk about that in your extended reading on Patreon, which will be linked below and in the center of your screen. Definitely come and check out the Patreon page. I have bonus content every Saturday. I do weekly forecasts that are only available over there, and you get all the readings early, ad-free, and extended, so come check it out. I hope you have a wonderful month, Libras. Happy birthday to those of you aging up at the end of the month. Bye.